What's up, folks? I'm Odd, by the way, and welcome back to Pokemon Week. This is a new-ish challenge for me, kind of. We're going to be doing something akin to Pokemon Fusion, but not quite. So there's this genre of fan art that is effectively like playing with Pokemon genetics, which is what we're going to be doing here today, because if you're unaware, if you haven't played around with Pokemon breeding at all in the games, which is kind of a specialized thing, I guess, or if you just haven't played the games, one of the main concepts behind it is that the baby egg Pokemon that come out of that situation always resemble the mother. So if you breed a Skitty and a Wailord, which by egg groups is technically possible, and the Skitty is a female, which by God help her, then you will get Skitties. That is the general idea behind Pokemon breeding. So you wouldn't really get the male Pokemon, but some people kind of take it as like the babies could probably take on some like phenotypical aspects of the male Pokemon that is bred with the dam, let's say, the mother of the babies. And it creates all these cool, like, conceptual, different breeds, sometimes different, like, subtypes of certain Pokemon, and I love the way that they look, so I wanted to try it out myself. So I think that we're going to start with, like, the one mom base, and we're going to do 3 potential suitors for her, and then we will make the 3 resulting babies from those pairings. And try to do a fun, like, hybridization between them. So that is what we're going to be doing today. I have a random Pokemon generator pulled up for us. Just this standard one on a website, really. So yeah, we're going to go in and we are going to generate our 4 Pokemon for this and 3 potential breeding results. It's weird to say it without trying to sound lewd, I guess. So, but regardless, let's see what our mama is going to be. Dragonite. Mama Dragonite. Okay. So our base Pokemon for this experiment is going to be a Dragonite. And our first potential suitor for our lovely Lady Dragonite is going to be Bruxish. Oh. Why such an ugly Pokemon? Why did they decide that this was necessary? Oh god, okay. I don't like Bruxish. I don't understand it. It's not my vibe aesthetically. But okay. Suitor number 1. Maybe he has a great personality. Alright, and our next baby daddy, generate Delcatty! Oh, that's cute! We were just talking about Skitty. This is the fully evolved version. I made these all fully evolved just so that I didn't wind up in a situation that would be weird having a baby Pokemon involved. Like, I know that it doesn't necessarily matter, and that, like, depending on the situation, they could be whatever level they wanted. But yeah, I thought that it would be weird to have a like very baby first form Pokemon in this, so I made them all fully evolved. I hope that that's alright. I think that it should be. I don't think that we're missing out on anything that way. Like, if it is just one form, then it should be considered fully evolved, right? Regardless, our final suitor for the day for our Dragonite is going to be generate Abomasnow. Ooh, that would be cool to see combined with Dragonite. I guess the question is then, do I make these Dratinis, or do I just make them all fully evolved Dragonites? I think I might go for the Dragonite, especially because there's such a difference between the forms in this circumstance. So let me pop you guys over to clips so that we can see our contestants for today. Boop. So yes, these are our potential suitors for Dragonite, and as I said, each resulting Pokemon from these combinations will be some form of Dragonite, but it will have the traits of either Bruxish, not one I'm particularly excited about, it's kind of an ugly Pokemon, but the patterning is cool, so I think that there could be good potential there. Delcatty seems like it would just be like so stinking cute, whatever results from that situation. And Abomasnow, which just feels like it would be the most like hardcore battle ready dragon ice type you have ever seen. So I'm excited by these potential results from our weird genetics experiment. So I'm gonna pop this over to speed paint voiceover for you guys, and I will show you what I came up with when we get there. So see you there. So starting out with the hybrid I was probably the least enthusiastic about, the Bruxish. Despite my dislike for the overall design, I think it has some cool aspects to it, and I think they carried over pretty well to the Dragonite. I went for a thinner snout along with that toothy grin, and let the whole of the design take on a slightly more aquatic look with more fin-like wings and some added fins throughout. I also incorporated Bruxish's psychic lures to Dragonite's antennae. The last aspect that I kind of forgot until I was already into coloring was adding that roughly dorsal fin Bruxish also has. God, I cannot say that name. I think it looks really cool on Dragonite because it kind of resembles spines like you'd see on a classic Western dragon. The yellow already on Bruxish was pretty easily translated to something a little closer to Dragonite's orangey yellow. I also really like the swoopy wavy patterns that run down Bruxish's body, and it was fun to apply those to a bigger quadrupedal character. Since these are sort of like crossbreeds, I decided to go for more trait-based naming systems, so each name is like a nickname for the cross or breed. This is the Finned Lockjaw Dragonite. Finned Lockjaws are an enthusiast breed, usually from trainers looking for something more aggressive in a Dragonite, water enthusiasts, or maybe contest goers looking for a very specific aesthetic. They're much harder to handle than a typical Dragonite due to their sharp teeth and potential psychic abilities. They aren't as good of flyers as a purebred Dragonite, but they are incredibly fast swimmers with their fin-shaped wings. Next up, we have the Delcatty hybrid. I immediately knew I had to make something much more babyish and cutesy for this one. Getting the exact vision took some time here, though. I made the body here a little slimmer and smaller, gave it a big ol' head and eyes and a smaller snout. Delcatty's little fur spikes worked oddly well with the spike on top of Dragonite's head here. One aspect that was the hardest was really the pose. I had this idea of the Dragonite pushing up the big Delcatty ruff around its neck as if they were like fluffing it. I think I got it mostly how I wanted it, but getting the right hand claw placement and squish was an oddly big challenge here. I considered ears, but I did let those go in favor of just adding some little fur tufts to Dragonite's antennae. It's easy to forget that Dragonite is the base here, so they still should shine out a little more than the Pokemon they're being sort of hybridized with. I called this variety the domestic longhair, which is also just literally a cat breed, but I felt like that especially worked really well for this particular combo. Domestic longhairs are popular pets, especially in very high-class circles. Dragonite's rarity along with Delcatty's delicate fine fur make it a very luxurious-feeling breed. Though called the longhair, it only really has the longest fur around its ruff, tail, and antennae, but the rest of its body is covered in a fine peach fuzz, which technically does give it longer hair than the otherwise hairless purebred Dragonite. They have an incredible temperament, but can wind up more than a little restless without exercise, and are quick to act, understandably quite spoiled. And finally we have the Abomasnow hybrid. Initially, I was trying to make this look somewhat intimidating, I really was, but I already cannot read Abomasnow as something intimidating, and the addition of Dragonite does not help. They both just look so dopey. So I eventually landed on a more Santa-like approach here. Just a mountain of fat, jolly Dragonite with a cute little mustache. I did do something that I didn't really do with the other designs, which was add a color, just something between the darker green on the extremities and the white to line the belly area. It felt too samey with all the white, but too cluttered with the green on both the hands and the belly. I also reversed the color scheme at the tail to make it look more like a little snow-capped tree. I called this variety the Mountain Pine Dragonite. It's usually advised to avoid crossing any too large and powerful Pokemon, mainly because it's hard to tell how their temperaments will mix. As the story goes, the Mountain Pine Dragonite wasn't a purposeful hybrid, but more of a strange, unlikely bond between two trainers' Pokemon. The resulting fluffy Dratini were just too cute, and it seemed as though the happy-go-lucky nature of the Dragonite mother passes down despite Abomasnow's gruff attitude. This breed is more popular as a mascot of sort for places where Delibird isn't as prevalent, acting as an assistant to Delibird during the winter holidays. After all, Dragonite is known for its mail services as well. They actually aren't as good of flyers due to the heavy fur on their wings, but they are able to withstand the cold much better than a typical Dragonite. But those are my little Pokemon hybrids for this week. This was super fun. I know this is a bit of a divergence from the usual idea of doing 3 completely different Pokemon, but if anything, 3 varieties of one Pokemon are super interesting to see side by side, at least to me. Let me know what you think about this challenge or any other art challenges you would like to see me do in the comments. I also have a fun little challenge for you over on the community tab. It's a daily Pokemon inspired challenge for October. I'm probably not going to be making videos about it, but I'll probably keep you up to date every few days on my progress over on the community tab and, of course, my other socials. You can always tag me on Blue Sky or Tumblr if you do try it out. At that, though, I'll leave this here, and I will see y'all next time.